Brilliant. So Seconds Out, delighted to be joined by Denzel Bentley, Unbeaten, middleweight, of course. Has things been going for you in lockdown?
It's been good. Started off a bit rough. I was a bit upset about how everything happened all of a sudden, but obviously got myself together. Started doing my run, started training, and what I'm saying, it's been getting easier and easier as it's been going on.
Have you been keeping in contact with the other lads and the trainers and stuff from the Peacock and kind of group chats and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah. We're all in the group chat, so we're all in contact with each other. We're all good.
Keeping each other motivated?
Yeah, been getting told to do our runs, telling everyone, like, asking each other. Well, we've got two separate group chats. We've got one with just the boys and one with the trainers. So we ask each other, have you trained? And then when one says yes, it's like, oh, I've got to train now because he's trained. So we're all in contact. We're all keeping each other motivated and we're all pushing hard as hard as we
What
can anyway.
what have you been able to do with the situation as it stands? Like, how much facilities and stuff have you got at home?
You've got pads and gloves, but it's not real pad work, is it? Like, you just get one of your friends or family members to hold the pads and it's not really the same. So that gets kind of boring and you don't want to do that anymore. To be honest, I had a close friend that was coming to help me out with sessions in the park, live nearby. Apart from that, just running, really. Yeah, just running. So not really much you can do, but it's better than nothing.
And were you lined up to be on the April 11th show that then got postponed to July 11th?
Yeah, I was meant to be on that show.
So are you still expecting to be on it when it gets rescheduled again? We're looking at possibly October now.
I've been told I'll be on the show that should be behind closed doors. But if that card goes on again, I will be ready to fight on that because I think the behind closed doors shows will be on about July, August times.
Yeah.
So by the time that's done, you've got September, October to get ready again and should be able to be ready for that as well. But I should be out before October.
Well, what do you think about the prospect of fighting behind closed doors? If it goes ahead at BT Studios, like we've been hearing, it's not a long trip for you. I suppose that's one positive. But what do you make of it fighting with no crowd?
You know what? It doesn't really matter to me because when I get there, by the time I'm fighting, it's never packed out anyway. So it doesn't really make a difference. So it might be a bit weird fighting in the studio. You just got to remember that's the real fight because you're not in a York Hall or a bigger venue or Royal Albert Hall or whatever. But you got to remember it's a real fight. I'm sure I'll be all right. I think it's good for the prospects because at least they'll get that TV time. Usually the prospects, we just fight early before anyone gets there and we don't get no televised slots. So I think it'll be better for us because we will at least be on telly and probably get more opportunities, big opportunities to show things. I think we will be more in more 50-50 fights and it will give them the opportunity. So it's either take it or leave it for us. The only thing is the money might be a bit less than it would be if there was a crowd.
It's not only that though. There's kind of I don't want to say excuse because it's harsh on the promoters perhaps, but there's a reason to pay people less now. And I think because fighters are desperate to get out before the end of the year because they've already missed so much time, I think people are going to be willing to accept lower money perhaps.
Yeah, 100%. People will be, especially people that haven't boxed this year, like myself. Like we want to get out and fight this year. To obviously progress in the career because every year you set yourself kind of goals and you want to hit them goals. So if you go the whole year without fighting, it's kind of set you back a whole year, if that makes sense. Now you got to go through that kind of process you're going to go through that year. So we obviously all want to get out. Like you said, it's a reason to pay us less because they'll just tell you that there's no crowd, there's no money coming in. So take it or leave it kind of thing. And of course, they're not going to want to take a big hit. But also for the guys that earn more, it will be harder for them. But for us, it will be an issue, but not as big as it would be for the guys that earn more and fight on primetime TV with a big crowd and stuff.
It's been talked about for a while, potentially a fight between yourself and Mark Heffron. Is this situation with everyone needing to fight, TV companies needing live boxing content that's good content and all domestic clashes as well, that fight's got to be more likely than ever now, surely?
You know what? Last I heard of that fight, I heard he was moving up to super middleweight.
Right.
So I haven't spoken about Mark Heffron anymore, but if that's a fight we can get on behind closed doors, you know what? To be honest, I don't think he will take it because the last time it was spoken about, he said he will fight if it's for something meaningful. So if we're just going to get, a 10-rounder run behind closed doors with less money, then potential, then I doubt he would take it. So we just have to wait and see till we get back whether he's going to go up to super middle or stay at middle. But it's definitely still a fight I want. But he's moved up to super middle now, so I don't really want to keep putting his name out there to seem like I'm trying to just be on him for no reason. You know what I'm saying? I don't want him to feel like I'm disrespecting him or anything. But it just is what it is. That's a fight I'll take. If he stays at middleweight, I'm letting it know that that's a fight I'll take.
Now, you're one of the more eloquent boxing voices on social media, I would say.
Yeah.
And recently, there's been some incredibly testing times, particularly for the black community, with everything that's going on, starting in America, but spreading quite quickly beyond their borders. I just want to kind of get your take on that. Not so much on exactly what happened, although we can talk about that, but more how you've dealt with it on social media and being there to kind of answer people's questions and correct some misconceptions as well.
Yeah, like you said, I'm very vocal. Like, I try to not get into no madnesses online because it's hard to kind of get your point across. But with this situation, it kind of affects me different because people are ignorant to situations that are going on. So obviously, I've been very vocal about it for a few days now, been going on. And every time I see someone tweet, I feel like I have to come and let you know what it really is, without trying to be angry or seem like I'm aiming anything at them. So I think that's one thing about me as well. I'm kind of slow to anger, especially online, because I know it's not real life. So when I'm answering these people, there's nothing about, it's you, not insulting them. It's just I'm trying to let you see the picture that I see when I see these things. Of course, like you said, it started in America, but police brutality happens all over the world. And in countries that are more westernized, it affects black people the most, from what I've seen. If anyone's seen any different, they can come and show me and enlighten me. Like, that's how I feel. But based on from what I've seen, that's what I'm going to put out there and show you that, yo, listen, you're less likely to get stopped and searched and get pulled over and get put in custody before you've done anything. You're less likely to go into a shop and get followed around because you look booky or you look suspicious. Like, I remember one time I was walking to the train station. I was walking with my girlfriend to the train station, dropped her off, came back. I got stopped by undercover police. I'm walking, this is morning time. They told me, they stopped me because I looked at them and looked suspicious. Like, I've asked them, what does a suspicious person look like? Like, what did I look suspicious about? What was I doing? I had my hand in my pocket. They said it looked like I was clenching something. So they spun it around. I was like, cool, you know what? You don't do it then. It's early morning. I ain't got time for this. Searched me, didn't find anything, and I'm on my way. Someone else wouldn't have taken that so lightly. Their reaction may have been different. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, I feel like I'm being victimized. I'm not about to have it. Then obviously it will excel to where it doesn't need to be. Police will start using more force instead of understanding where this person's coming from. And then at the end of the day, they don't find nothing, but they potentially hurt someone or arrested them because of resisting arrest or something else. But it's like you're picking and choosing who you want to do that to, if that makes sense. Because let's say, for example, I could be chilling from my block with a group of friends, and you could be chilling on your block for a group of friends. Police are less likely to come to you and tell you, we've had a call that there's been drugs around here, so we're going to search you. Do you know what I'm going to say?
Yeah.
And obviously, it's nothing against you or any other person that's white out there. We're just showing you that it's less likely for you to be in these situations than it is for us. And some don't understand that. When people are talking about, obviously, the term white privilege has come across a lot of times. Not talking about your upbringing, whether you were born poor or you were born with a silver spoon. It's nothing to do with that. Because there's black people that's been born with a silver spoon. Their parents have done what they need to do and have been able to look after their children, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's more so living in a society where maybe you're more likely to get a job than I am. You're more likely to, you're easier to approach than I am because I may look scary. I've had people walk across the road from me, like, and now it's like, I think, yeah, walk across the road. If you're scared, if you want to live life in fear, live life in fear. Walk across the road. Like, it doesn't bother me. Feel me? Like, I'm not gonna see a bunch of white guys and be like, oh damn, yeah, you lot clutch your bag or they're gonna rob you. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, all of this like stereotyping, all forms of racism, and I'm just trying to point that out to people without being aggressive towards them or feeling like they're part of the problem, because some people don't understand, and that's fine, that's cool. You don't understand. There's things that I don't understand. If you're willing to show me, you can show me. But when people throw around the term privilege or white privilege, it's nothing to do with how you was born broke, poor or rich. It's just how you get treated in the system that's been set up.
Just want to pick up on something you said, or a couple of times actually throughout what you were just talking about, is that you want to explain things to people without coming across as aggressive or angry. Is that
Yeah.
something kind of inbuilt that you think you don't want to reinforce negative stereotypes? You kind of, you know, what is it, like self-censoring a little bit because you don't want to seem angry?
Yeah, no, but you know what's so mad? Now that you say that, that's actually funny because obviously like black people come across more aggressive and angry and it's like, oh, you guys are always angry. And I haven't really I didn't take that approach because I was thinking like that. That's just how I am personally. Like I have a lot of heated debates with my friends and stuff, like a lot of heated debates. But when it comes to people I don't know, I don't feel it's necessary to take that kind of anger towards them, whether they're black, white, wherever they are. It's just you can have a civil conversation without getting angry. But if I'm explaining something to you and you're refusing to understand, then it gets a bit, all right, you're taking the piss now because you're not just speaking, you're speaking without trying to understand, and then it's coming across as this is what you believe. And no one has shown me that yet. They've all shown me that, yeah, we all want equality and come together and unity and stuff. But in actual reality, that's impossible. It's impossible because you got people out there from all sorts of races that want nothing to do with other races. So to talk about the whole world coming in unity, blah, 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 that's impossible. The best you can do is something you see is wrong, you stand up for it. Don't play that side where it's like, oh, you know what, it's got nothing to do with me. It's not my community. It's not my, you know what I'm trying to say? That's the separation part. Because you got people saying, oh, what's the point of looting? What's the point of rioting? But why do you care so much about, and I'm not saying it's right, but why do you care so much about businesses that are insured anyway, and they will get money back from wherever they're insured by, whoever insures them, rather than a man that's lost his life? He can't get that life back. Like, I've seen more outrage about the looting and the rioting than I have about that man's life.
Yeah, but it's the double standard as well because people will say, oh yeah, well, why should I care so much about someone who's died over in America? You know, there's nothing connected to me. But then
Exactly,
you can say the
100%.
same thing about the looting. Like, why do you care about people looting shops over in America? You're either connected or you're not.
100%. I see what I'm saying. I wasn't even thinking that way, but you just enlightened me with something as well. Why do you care about the looting over there if you didn't care about the death over there? It's still in the same place. It's the double standards that you're talking about. Like, why do you care so much about that? It's not here. People haven't started looting here in London, and I don't think they will, or in England, sorry, I should say. And I don't think they will in the UK, whatever. I can't see it happen. But people are getting up protesting all over the world, but everyone's looking at why people are protesting in the UK. It's not as bad there. Blah 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 blah. The same thing happens. It's just not as blatant. Obviously, police don't have guns unless they're armed response. But you've seen people get mishandled by police in the UK. And the thing is, these guys have uniform and they're there to serve and protect. But at the same time, they're humans. Humans have emotions. They have pride issues. They have all these things. They have egos. So you see a police officer that's telling you something and you refuse to listen, their ego kicks in. Like, now hold on, you're going to listen to me today. And they may use they use more force against you to try and make sure that you comply with it. But someone else on the other hand is like, no, hold on, you can't do this to me. I ain't done nothing. And you're trying to bully me. I'm not having it. You know what I'm trying to say? So a lot of the times, like you said, it's double standards. You don't care about the guy that got killed over there, but you care about the looting. What's looting going to do? How's it going to bring him back? How's it going to do this and that? They've been protesting that in America for years. Like, it's been so long. I remember there was a protest for the Black Lives Matter thing here years ago because of things that happened in America. And it's the same thing again. It hasn't changed anything. And you want people to still peacefully protest. The last time a man peacefully protested, he lost his job. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's, what do you want people to do? Like, what do you want people to do? Everyone else that seems to protest gets what they want. Apart from the people that are being oppressed in this situation. But
without like naming any names, do you feel that in your time in boxing you've had to educate some of the people that you've come into contact with, whether it be trainers, managers, other fighters, in terms of what's going on?
You know what? Not really, you know, because what do you mean, like on that? Yeah. I have actually. One trainer, not my trainer, one trainer messaged me, speaking on the situation. And like I said, I just calmly told him what it was. And I just said to him, if you don't understand it, it's best you just don't speak on it. Because you're gonna offend people. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, anything you don't understand, it's best to not speak on it. because people will get offended, you'll get drawn out, and then it looks like everyone's against you when they're not. If you don't understand it, forget it. And there are a few people online that I've spoke to that I've just tried to say things and they've chose to be ignorant. So I've just kind of kept spamming them with videos of things and like, here you go, look at this one, here you go, look at this one, until they get annoyed with me or block me. But that's just how it is. But not really anyone in my camp that I've had to educate, because the first thing I do, I don't come to you and start talking about race, like, hey, yo, we're oppressed or anything. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't do that. You just get on with it. It's life. But when something pops up and there's a conversation about it, I will tell you how I feel about that situation. But until then, I'm not really just going to come out and start speaking on things that, you know what I'm saying, that no one wants to hear, really.
But is that, again, because you're worried about the perception that will give, or at least partly, that, you know, oh, it's Denzel banging on again kind of thing?
You know what? I don't, you know, it's not that at all. It's not that at all, because anyone that knows me knows that I will talk for ages. Like, I go to a friend's house and I'm with their family. They go, oh, Denzel's always you making noise. And I'm like, yes, I'll make noise if I want to. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's just me, like, where I feel comfortable, I will do so. But not like I don't feel comfortable in the gym or around anyone or online or anything. But there's certain situations that are just more sensitive than others. And maybe I may say something and someone turns around and gives me the wrong response, and then I get mad. So to just save myself from being offended or, you know what I'm saying, like speaking out of character, I just don't lead with these things. It's the same with like friends that are in situations. I don't lead with things, but if the conversation comes across, I'll be very vocal about it and I will bang on about it until you either understand or you've had enough of me. That's just how I am.
Do you think the recent thing on social media, the Tuesday blackout thing, do you think that had any sort of effect at all? Or, you know, do you think it was meaningful?
You know what? At first, I was like, come on, bro, this is a real situation. How are you just going to black out your page and think that it's going to change anything? But again, it stands with the whole unity thing. If that's what we're going to do, let's all do it properly, innit? Like, let's show that we're together. Because when you got people saying, don't do nothing, so many split opinions, it's like, it's an aid of support. I think there must have been something happening. I may be wrong. I think in Israel, Sudan, or one of them countries, and everyone turned their display picture blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what country it was, but everyone turned their display picture blue in support of that incident. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Like, everyone's turning off social media for the day, post a black picture, refrain from posting on social media, don't do anything, just a day of silence, because that's what we're all going to do. And it's, you know what, stick with what you're protesting with. If you're against something and everyone that's against it is doing this, let's show them that we're all together and we're going to do it together. Like, literally, that's how I saw it, and that's why I decided to take part in it. Obviously, it's because of things that are going on in that, but you think about, how does this help? And then you think, you know what, it sends a message that if everyone's on the same page, everyone gets it. And then the people that weren't on the same page, you can see it. But I'm not saying you didn't post it because obviously you don't get it, but people that weren't there, that were talking about what's it going to do, you know where they stand, kind of thing.
Do you think a lot of people are kind of confused and struggling for an outlet that's actually going to make a tangible difference? Because obviously, yeah, it's great to see the signs of unity, but I think a lot of it comes from people not knowing what the real outlet is where they can make a positive change.
No, 100%, 100%. I people think like doing the bare minimum helps, and it doesn't really. There's so much you have to do. Like, someone made a post and one of the trainers sent it to my group chat talking about one guy, the black guy, was talking and he was like, I'm probably going to get, a lot of backlash for this, but it was the music industry that decided to come up with the Blackout Tuesday thing.
Right.
And he was like, cool, that's all nice, we're all standing together, but it's the same music industry that allows these artists to put out negative things on black people, like to say, for me. So talk about, obviously, someone pulls up on me, I'm going to kill them, or this girl's twerking, throw it back to me, all of these things, and painting a negative picture about your own people. Are they willing to sacrifice not putting out that content for the greater good? And that kind of made me think, well, that's actually true. Like, what are you willing to sacrifice to make change? Because you can't just come out here and then protest, and then come out here and say Blackout Tuesday, and then come out here and then say one thing, and then go back after it's all done and start doing what you're doing to continue the situation. You feel me? Like, you're not solving anything. Just going online, having a little rant. People will just be like, yeah, they're just having a moment here. When they're done, they'll be back to what they're doing and everything's back to normal. And when it happens again, oh yeah, they're having a moment. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So things need to happen now. I think people in position to do so need to help the change. A lot of people don't want to mess up their money and they don't want to speak out and upset people, which is cool. That's listen, each to their own. But in actual reality, like I was saying before, is the music industry willing to sacrifice putting out that kind of music that downgrades its people, or do you know what I'm saying, and invest in more rappers or artists that speak about more conscious things or speak about problems of the world or just speak about things without that content. And that was one thing that stuck out to me. So everyone's got to play their part in this and try and avoid that kind of, bringing down your own people kind of thing.
What, if anything, do you think the boxing community could do better in terms of, racial equality or race relations, anything like that, particularly in the UK?
It's a hard one because you just say the obvious. You know what I'm saying? Like, say no to racism and all these things. But me personally, I can only speak for myself. I haven't experienced racism in boxing. This is for myself. Of course, back in the day, we've seen these things. Times when I mentioned on Twitter one time, what's his name? Marvin Aguilar and I forgot his name, mind blank. The other middleweight from the UK said, I never used to a black boy. Alan Minter, yes. So things like that. Then you got obviously it's of the other way. Bernard Hopkins said it to
Calzaghe.
Joe Calzaghe. Devin Haney said it to Lomachenko, whatever. And then it goes both ways. But then it's like when Devin Haney said it, people chose to just attack him. I get that was way back in the day and all these things. People like these are terms that's been used in boxing for how long? You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, how can you just choose to jump on one man and attack that guy and be like, you're racist, you're racist, you're racist? Like, you can't do that. Where was that energy for all the fighters on it back then? But me personally, I haven't experienced anything racist in there for me to be like, yeah, this needs to stop and that needs to stop. I just feel like as long as promoters keep promoting their fighters all the same way, not putting any ahead of any because of their race and obviously what they look like and their skin color or religion or whatever, just keep it on a level playing field. Everyone gets the same opportunities. And obviously, if you're doing better in the field, and obviously you're doing better in it, you deserve to get what you owe, whether you're wherever you are. But I haven't really experienced anything, so that's a hard one for me. But there's other sports like football and stuff where all these guys do these chants and stuff, and they need to sort that out before anything.
Brilliant. Well, it's been a fascinating conversation. I don't know if you anticipated it going the way it did, but it was never going to be just boxing, was it? I suppose at this.
No, it was never. Oh, come on, man! My niece.
That's your niece, is it?
Yeah.
Listening at the knowledge tree. Hi.
Yeah. Say hi.
Hello.
They're going to be on YouTube.
Uncle Denz. Yeah, what's Uncle Denz been doing?
He's in the kitchen.
He's been in the kitchen.
Bye now. Talking too much. Yeah, go on.
He's been eating loads. He's not been doing any training.
Stop.
He's fast you up. We appreciate the little cameo there at the end. Yeah, I look forward to seeing you in person as soon as everything's back to normal. Come down to Peacock and see everyone.
Yeah, no, hopefully soon as possible, as soon as we can. Get another interview out. Strictly boxing this time, but now I'm joking. All these questions you throw at me, I'll be ready for because I've been vocal about it. So someone's willing to come and talk to me on the camera and stuff. Ava, stop playing games. If someone's willing to come and talk to me about it online, then obviously I've got to be ready to talk about what I've been talking about online. Film, so
we can give you more than 280 characters to get your point across as well, which must help. Brilliant. All right, well, I'll see you soon. Stay safe. And good luck with everything. Hopefully, it'll be back to normal as soon as possible.
All right, nice one, you too. Take care.
Okay, mate. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.